everyone, and welcome. I'm Marcie, Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me on this New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope your New Year's is fantastic and wonderful and brings you all the joy in the world. So welcome. Let me just fix my chat here because, of course, the commercials makes it go away, and I don't want it to go away. Hi, everybody. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Carrie. Marva, welcome. Hi, Gloria. So I hope you guys are staying home like I am because it is just cozy and warm and safe at home. So that's my plan. We like to stay at home. Tomorrow is actually our wedding anniversary, and we actually like to stay at home and we play games or watch movies or whatever because it's just safer that way. And like I've mentioned before, the restaurants are just too busy, too crazy. They're rushing people in and out. And we go later in the month and celebrate. Same as Valentine's Day. We just go whenever we pick a day that's a little safer and nicer and not so busy out there. So as I mentioned on my Facebook page, I am a little under the weather. I'm not feeling great. We saw some grandkids of ours, the ones from Montana, a few days ago, and then my husband got a little bit of a sore throat, and then he stayed away, but I got it too. So this is day 2 for me. He had it for a day and then was better. So I'm hoping mine will be better tomorrow and it'll go away. But I was achy and wanted to sleep today, but I had to get up and do a video. Then I realized the video I'm doing today is a sympathy card. Like, why would I do that on New Year's Eve? But I just realized when I looked at it a few minutes ago, right before the video, I was like, really? A sympathy card? Well, I guess we all need them, right? So anyway, so this is the card we're going to create today. And I love this suite. Somebody had requested the Nature's Walk suite, and so that's what we're going to be using. Let's see. Hi everybody. Happy New Year's. Hi Amy. Hi Marcia. Louise from Canada, welcome. Hi Nancy. Ida, welcome. Thank you everybody for the New Year's wishes. You stay in also. Good thing, Gloria, and I hope you're feeling better soon too. Hi, Leslie. Stacy, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Thanks, Nancy. Ooh, 19 degrees now. It started to snow. Ooh, no, it's 51 here. I just went outside because I just switched my Christmas lights. For those of you that don't know, I have trim lights on my house. And so we went from Christmas to New Year's. So for Christmas, I did candy canes at first. So I had 10 red, some white, like 5 red, white, 10 red, so it looked like candy canes moving around on my house. Then I went to, I did the traditional Christmas lights on the house, which were, the blue, the yellow, the green, the red, that kind of thing. And now I have gold, white, and black on the house, and it's fireworking. So it's kind of crazy. So it looks like it's New Year's with all the fireworks and stuff. So, and then we'll go back to normal tomorrow. Well, maybe the next day. Staying in tonight. Good. Be in the fog. Oh, speaking of fog, Colleen. So what day is this? Wednesday. Sunday night, I was watching Brewer and Grayson. And Scott, my son, and Alyssa, they went to the 49er game. Grayson didn't want to go because he gets motion sickness, which I totally agree, although that's a short ride, not really too much in the hills. But he was like, I get sick in the car. I decided I don't want to go. And so he didn't go. But on the way home, Alyssa, who's from Washington, messages me and says, OMG, the fog out here is awful. Well, we're in California and we're in the Central Valley, and so we get fog. And I don't think I've seen fog as bad as it was when I was a child. That was fog, but I also lived in the country. Like I had to hang out my car window and look at the line like next to my car, so I knew where I was driving to get home one night. I think it was after work, and it was scary. So you're like, you have to drive looking at the center line or looking at the line on the side. And I told them, whatever you do when you pull over, if you have to pull over, turn your lights off, because you don't want the people coming thinking that you're traffic and like, oh goodness, thank goodness I can follow this car. They will run right into you. So that was one of the things I learned when we were young. Make sure if you pull off, turn your lights off. It's better to have them off than on when you pull over. Anyway, but it's not as bad as it was when I was young. But anyway, they were traveling home and she was like, this is scaring the crud out of me. And I was like, you'll be safe, go slow, don't hurry home. You'll be fine. And then they were home like an hour later. So they did just fine. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like the card and the suite. Okay, so we're going to jump in. I'm going to go ahead and do some quick reminders, and one of them I forgot to do last time, so let me tell you. January bingo is the 21st. Don't forget, it is all new product, so you're going to definitely want to participate in this year's bingo. I will tell you, I said there's something in there that you guys are going to love for year round. There is a calendar that I love that I put in there. So you guys are going to get a calendar for the year in bingo. But everything in there is new. And so that you're going to definitely want to be participating in. So that is on January 21st. Remember, if you're not available to play bingo, you can still participate. It's still the same price. You'll get 5 kits for your $40, and you'll get the video and everything to create with. The next thing is paper share. You need to have your order into me by the 5th, which is Monday. So Monday night in California, I will put my order in Monday night because we're able to put it in at midnight Utah time. So I will be putting it in here. So I said, please let me know by 9 o'clock, because at 11 o'clock I can put my order in. And that way I can make sure I've got everything and everybody included in that order. Okay. Also, the Cake Day birthday class is still available with a $75 purchase from me on my online store. And then make sure you go and register for the Cake Day birthday class. I still have a few kits left of that. And also your paper share doesn't include that, but you need to fill out the form, okay? Make sure you register. Cute as a Bag is an absolutely adorable suite, and those cards are done. I'm just creating the kits now. And then once the new year's over, I'm going to start creating the PDF and finish up getting those kits packaged up. I still have to wait for some paper and embellishments from the new product, so I'll be able to order that also on the 6th and put those together and get those out. I think I said mailing by January 31st, so that's my goal, but it might be earlier than that. So I'm going to say that this kit will sell out. I really, really think that this one is going to be a hot item. So make sure you grab your kit as soon as possible. Okay. If you do get the suite from me, the class is free. So make sure you go and register for that after that. The thing I forgot last time is Stampin' Storage is having a sale right now, 20% off. If you use my link, which is below in the description, I would really, really appreciate that. And 20% off. It's a great time to start thinking about how you're going to store your new stamps and dies with the new packaging with Stampin' Up. So don't forget that. And then of course we have our paper pumpkin and the add-on. Make sure you add that add-on. It's going to be fantastic with our new paper pumpkins coming our way. You have until January 10th to get the special delivery one. And you will get a fun coordinating box to go with that one also. All right. Yay, we are got the business stuff out of the way and we are ready to create. So let's get started. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks I did on this card. Everybody needs a sympathy card. It never fails. When I need one, I don't have one. So when somebody requested this suite, so let me back up just a second. when somebody requested that I use this suite for a card today, I actually came up with a different card. I loved it so much and I thought it was so perfect for multiple occasions. I put it in bingo. So now I moved one of my bingos over to next month because one of these, a card with this suite will be in bingo this month. So I am super excited about it because it is just so cute. And I showed my upline and she's like, oh my gosh, she loved it. So, so just know that this is the second one that I created with this suite. All right, so we're going to jump in and get started. I'm going to go to the inside, and the first thing we're going to do is do a little bit of stamping for our inside. So you're going to see right here, what I did is I'm going to stamp with the big leaf. So what I'm going to do is bring out my Stamparatus, what do you call this thing? The lid. And I'm going to bring out this large leaf right here. All right, so we're going to bring out the large leaf. And I'm going to put it right here on my Stamparatus. Then I'm going to bring in a dauber, and look at what I did. I did a half and half on here because I think I'm going to be doing quite a bit of something like this card. I thought about doing background. There's so many pretty things you could do with this stamp set. So let me show it to you. It's Nature Symphony. It's got some really great sentiments. This nice large die, a smaller one, a leaf, a smaller one, and then it's got some wood green here, which also would have been really nice to go with the card I did, this one here. When I did this one, it could have gone for the cement texture or the wood. So that would have been a really cool thing to think about. So there's that one that we could do. I'm going to take Lost Lagoon and I am going to ink this up. It's the lightest color of the three that we're going to use. And yes, I'm getting it on the block. Just be careful. You don't want to smush that down too hard on your card base because then you'll get it all over. Then I'm going to take Old Olive. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put the Old Olive on this side. I just need a little bit. Let's save our blending tools, right? And so we're just going to do a little bit up here. And I'm going to do a little down here. And just so that's just a little bit all over. And now I'm going to turn it and we're going to go into, except that's the finger I closed my, my stamps with. So now we're going to bring in Pretty Peacock. And notice I'm trying to go a little fast. I don't want this to get all crazy. We're going to take our Pretty Peacock and I'm just going to add a little in here. And we're going to do a little over here. All right, so now we have all three colors. I'm going to huff on it because it's been, hopefully it hasn't started kind of bubbling up a little bit. I'm going to move that over and I'm just going to lay that down right there. Now be careful, I got ink all over, so I don't want to smudge everything else on here, but I just wanted to add a little something to the inside of my card. Okay, so we're going to grab that. There we go. So we're adding just some fun color to that. Let me just wipe this off really quick. All right, so I'm going to move my dauber so I don't stick my hand in that anymore. So that is easy as that on the inside. Oh, thanks, Stacy. I finally got them done yesterday. They were way too long. My nail lady said, oh, your nails are so long. I said, I know. Because I just kept thinking, oh, I like the red. It's holiday. I'm going to keep going. And then I didn't want to go in. And then it was cold outside. And then I was like, oh, I guess I should go in now because my feet needed to be done. And And so I thought, well, I got to start off the new year something different because The weird thing is like, look at this one. It's got a lot of glimmer, a lot of flakes of foil. This one, not so much. It's just kind of, you know, give and take. Some of them get a lot, some of them don't get as much. But, you know, is what it is. I like it. I had somebody ask me, do you always get some kind of shimmer or shine or, you know, blingy? And I go, yeah, pretty much. Just because I like it. I don't like to go too crazy, but I do like the little, you know, the little shimmers in there. So anyway, it's fun. I get tired if it's a solid color and it's just like my red that I had. Not the first time because it was really glimmery, but this last time was just red and it was like, okay, I was kind of over it. All right, let's bring in our mat so we can see what we're doing. Do you guys do this now? Put your mat underneath because it sure is a lot easier. Rainy and warm and cozy and in for the night. Me too. My husband's actually hunting. He should be coming home anytime. He went hunting today with him and his buddy. And so I'm like, you have fun. I'll be in the house nice and toasty. Okay, so here's the paper that we used. And I'm going to die cut this one out of the center. And so let me show you what I used. This is with the suite. It is the Natural Hues. And you get 3 colors. So you get this one here, this one, and this one. And this one we used the middle one. All right. And then I decided, well, we're going to save on this paper because you only get a sheet of each in this pack. Maybe 2. Let me see. Nope, a sheet of each. And so you will get a 1/4 sheet of each of these in your paper share. Okay. And so what I did is I used the Beautifully Celebrated. I want to say I used the 3rd from the last. Let's see. Okay, so the 2nd from the outside is this. The 3rd from the outside is going to be your DSP. Okay, so I used the DSP. I think my honey just got home. I'm going to use the DSP, which is this one. And you can tell I've used a lot of this. And it's going to be the one here with the text on it, with the script. And so that's where I decided, okay, I'm going to use that. This one is the front page one, which, let me see, I'll show you what the full sheet looks like if I have one in here. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah. So it looks like this one. Okay, look how pretty that is. So it's got all your colors on here in this. And so I chose to use, I wanted a little bit of the green, the Lost Lagoon, and the Pretty Peacock. And we're going to put that right on top of there. So let's just do that. So I have the other, the Montana grandkids coming. They're in town, but when I say in town, they're in state. They're up in, up past Merced. They have a house up there because he does his beekeeping in both locations. And one to pollinate trees, the other one to make honey. So they're there, but they're coming back down on Thursday. So I'm hoping I'm not sick anymore. She said they're not anymore, so that's good. But I'm hoping I'm over this. All right, we're going to put that right here. All right, look how pretty that is. All right, then we're going to add our sentiment here. Now, I cut out 2 leaves. So on our dies, we have this leaf right here. And this is the one I used, and here's the little one that I used, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our image, which I put back, and now I'm realizing that I needed it. So it is right here. We're going to put it back on our plate. And I did Pretty Peacock just to add some more color in here. All right, so we're just going to add this right here. So just add some greenery. You don't have to have a lot. Doesn't matter. You can stamp it on your paper before you cut it out or after. It's okay. Either way, it just adds a little more color in there because the leaves that I cut out were off of the DSP, which were mostly the old olive and excuse me, and the beige. This one right here is the paper I used for the leaves. Okay, so this is on the back. So I used this one. So you get a really dark mossy meadow, old olive, and beige. So it's wherever you have your dye. And I cut a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at both of these. This one has a lot of white on it. And so I think I want the white, the lighter one, to go on top of here. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of look at both. Oh, I like the green on top of here because this is really green right here too. So let's do this over here. So we're going to break this one off right here. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and close this, Marcie, because that could be a mess. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in and we're going to add some adhesive. And so I'm just going to do, I love the silicone mat because you can put adhesive on here and it will just kind of curl back up on your paper. But you want to make sure that you don't break your leaves. And I'm only going to do that and then this one because it's going to hold underneath anyway. So let me just move that adhesive back under. And we're going to bring this up and you want it way up to the top. Okay, so you want your leaves way up here. So like up in this corner. And then I'm turning this one to get that one way up. And then you can just put these ones down. Okay, because this is going to go here and you want to see as much of that as you can. If you wanted to, you could cut that off and do like multiple, but I'm okay. This is what I want. And then this one, we're going to put down here. Okay, so again, I'm going to, oh, you know what else? Let me think about this a second. Because technically you could use this part on here and then a part of this down here. But look how dark that is down here. So it would have to be the lighter piece and that's pretty big. So I think I'm going to go with this piece down here. But play with that and see, which one works for you. But I think I'm going to do this one. And it depends on where you're cutting your paper and how much, if it's going to be mostly the lighter part towards the top or the darker part towards the bottom. And if it's darker, then you definitely want to use the lighter part of your branches. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure those are all in. And again, you want this to go down as far as you can get it because you want to be able to see it. All right, so I'm going to go here and here and then there, okay? So they're just kind of like to the edge, but not necessarily off. All right. Thank you, Bobette. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to glue this on here. So the easy way for me is I just like to go down and just keep angling this to get it close to the edge, but it doesn't have to be exact. All right. So, all right. All right, and then that looks good to me. We're going to put our dimensionals on the back. I just love this paper. This natural hues paper is really, really pretty. I know I keep finding myself putting more and more dimensionals these days, but I just want to make sure it's not going anywhere. I guess that's why I buy so many of them. All right, so let's bring this back in. Let's see here. All right, we're going to put that right in the middle. So that's top and bottom. That looks good to me. Oops, moved it too much. All right, one more time. Be careful you're not picking up your leaves and tearing them. I'm going to hold it up here so that I can see these edges and also those. I had it by the very edge and that didn't work because I can't see. There we go. That's good to me. Oh, sorry. Let me silence this. Okay. And then, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this and keep all your little pieces because you can use them for other stuff. So I'm going to cut this one off right here. All right. But now I also took the small branch and did the reverse side of the other paper, this one here. And I got the more pretty peacock color. And so I'm going to add that on here. So let's go ahead and do our piece. And you don't have to do all of it. I just do a part of it. I'm fine with the leaves kind of lifting up a little bit. But I do all the leaves just to make sure that they stay on. And this one I'll do a little more right here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to pull this back in. And we're going to put a bow, so you want to make sure it's kind of up. We're going to put a bow right over that at the end. So I'm just going to go like right here. All right, and then once it's glued down, then what I like to do is take your pokey tool or your bone folder, whatever, and then I just kind of flip it up a little bit, just give it a little bit of dimension, because you've glued it, but you didn't glue all the way to the edges, so it just kind of gives it a little bit more. Same with on these, you can go in and that way, even though they go into an envelope, it's going to still be where it'll probably pop back up, or at least partially. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to glue this guy. I think I'm going to glue him a little more this way. I have more leaves over here than here, so I'm going to glue him like right there. And I do add glue on this guy because he's so tiny. And he's kind of going under the bow, so I'm just going to add some polka dots there. I added too much glue right here, so I'm going to wipe that off. Okay. And then I'm going to add him like right here. Okay, and notice again, I didn't go all the way down the tips of all of the leaves. I just mainly did the bottom and the base so that it would adhere there. All right, we're going to move that over now. And now we're going to work on our sentiment and our bow. So 2 different ribbons. Look at this. All right, so do you see this one is sheer and this one is not? This one is the in color ribbon. It's the sheer one you want that comes with the suite. And it is called Secret Sea. That's it. The other side says Secret Sea Open. No, I got to find the one in English. Oh, Bordered Open Weave Ribbon. Okay, so that's the one we're going to do a bow, and I'm going to use my bow maker. And for those that ask, this is the website, 10secondbowmaker.com. Okay, so I'm going to go around and do 2. Make sure when you do it, you go around and this one stays on top. Okay, so lay it just barely on top. That way you know the top one is going to be, you know, the top part of your bow. And then I like this to lay flat over. And she gives instructions and everything really well online, so on her videos. All right, so there we go. And then I tug it down because I want them to go downward. All right, so then you have your top part of your bow and your bottom. And And I'm going to cut right about there, right about there. All right. Now I like to use a glue dot. Yeah, the DSP is really nice. I wish we had more script stuff. I would love a background with script. I know we've had them, and I'm sure I kept mine. But I wish we had just DSP that was all script. All right, we're going to add our bow. Now the sentiment I did a little bit different. So let me show you what I did. The sentiment came from Loveliest Tree, and it's sending heartfelt sympathy. And so I wanted just heartfelt sympathy because I wanted something a little smaller to fill up that space. Notice that I did put it on white paper, so it ties in the sentiment with the white. If you have very vanilla thick paper, then I would use that for the card base. And it depends, because I think that kind of conflicts with this color, which I don't think I have very vanilla right here with me, but I did pull it out. But I think it conflicts with this color, but it depends on what you're doing. If you're using this color, which I did on my other project, it was perfect to add this as this color and then use the very vanilla card base. But this one, I used white because it just, looked better than the other one. So I wanted to do the sentiment on white. But I just wanted heartfelt sympathy. Oops, it's right here. So I did it in Pretty Peacock. All right, so let's see. I think I have, here's another piece right here. All right, so now I'm going to have to, we're going to take this and stamp it. And I do it twice because I want to make sure I get what I want. Okay, now see how crooked that came out? Because this stamp happens to be wonky. It's crooked there, it's not crooked there. And that's because somebody, I don't know who, put the back of the stamp on backwards. So I'm going to try and go crooked there, so now it looks a little straighter. All right. So what we're going to do is take our scissors. No, I'm going to take my my trimmer is what I did. I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to try to put my sympathy, the two Y's, right up to the edge of this plastic, and then that's what gives me that straighter bottom. And so I'll just keep doing that until I get it to where I think I can barely see the two Y's on the bottom here. So it's whatever. I mean, you guys know your trimmer and how it works. I like to do it this way to where the letters are just on lined up with the plastic. And then I know it's going to be pretty darn close. All right, so that one I still have a little bit of plastic. A little bit showing. And that's too close. I could just use scissors, but I like to know it's going to be a straight edge. Okay, and then now you guys know your trimmers and know where your spots are that you like. I tend to go to where that little black line is, and then I know I'm good. Except I didn't hold my thing down on this one. This one right here. I'm going to take it to the edge, and then I have to hold down my plastic. Otherwise, my edges are all funky. So there we go. So there is our sentiment. And so what I'm going to do is add my dimensionals on the back. And then we're going to even use the embellishments that came with this suite. So this is right here. This is a great card that you can stop it here, and you don't have to make it a sympathy card. You can make it a masculine card. You can make it all different kinds of things. A birthday card, whatever. But we're going to do a sympathy because it seems like that's the one my husband comes in and says, we need to send so-and-so a sympathy card. Oh, but I feel that is crooked. Okay, so I feel that is crooked on the top, so I'm going to have to try to straighten it. And that's when it gets scary with the scissors. I don't want to go too close because I want to keep my little bit of white space there. All right, that looks a little bit better. All right, there we go. All right, so there's is our, let's move it in a little bit. We have plenty of room. I like to kind of make it as, like collage it with whatever you're working on. Let's see. That looks good. Now for the embellishments on this suite, you get the faux bronze pentagons. And I thought that just went really well with this. They're heavy when you pull the whole thing out. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a large one right here just to kind of fill that in. And then I took small ones and I put one, well, I put one in between the leaf and here, but I'm going to put it here. Let's see. I'm going to put it here instead. And then I'm going to take another small one and put it right up here. Like that. Oh, except I feel like I turned it. There we go. I feel like they should all point upward. So there we go. And then the other one I did was this one. And I did it a little bit different. Oops. So by adding that pretty peacock in the background, it just gives you that much more to make it look full. And then you can just add your 2 different leaves there and kind of decide on if you decide to cut these out of Pretty Peacock, then change this to Lost Lagoon and maybe change this one to a beige or something. Just look in your colors and see, you know, what works for you. But there we go. There are our 2 cards, which were super easy. So you only used 1 piece. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, remember, I always say if you're using specialty paper or if you're using DSP, you want your largest to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so if this is 4 by 5 1/4, this is 3 3/4 by 5. That way you don't have that 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because you don't want to waste that paper. You want to get your 6 sheets out of your DSP and your specialty paper. Also, make sure you cut this out of this because everything's layered up. You are not going to know, even if you hold this up, I cannot see, it's too dark, it's got too many layers, that there's that missing out of the center of this, but it's also going to save on the weight of your card. This one, make sure when you take it out, 2 things. You could either cut your DSP just short, which may give you more, because if you think about this, this one is only 3 inches wide, so that's going to give you 4 across, and it is 3 and it's just shy of 3 3/4 in length. So think about, you know, if you want to make it your paper small to cut them out, or do you want to make your paper maybe this size, the 3 3/4 by 5, and then cut this out, because then you could use these later on something else with the print, and maybe add a different print on top and use, you know what I mean? Like do the opposite of this. So anyway, just a thought, save that paper, use your leaves out of the middle of your paper if you can, depending on what you're using or what you're doing. Make your paper go as far as you can so you can use it on, you know, different different projects. Maybe if you did this card one way, then you do another one and flip everything. Make the script back here and make this up here, but then maybe make your sentiment larger because there's really, nothing to see there except color. So kind of keep that in mind on your DSP. You definitely want to get the most out of your paper and make it go the farthest so that you can have, make even more cards. Oh, good, Judy. I'm glad you like it. Thank you, Marva. Thank you, Colleen. That is great advice about the light. When we lived in Riverton, Wyoming, we had a complete whiteout. Oh my gosh. Bobette. Yeah, my husband and I went up to go snowboarding one time and we were in a whiteout. And boy, is that scary because we ran right into a snowbank. It was right in front of us. And it was actually on the other side of the road like that. But everything was white, like you did not know where you were. And it was really, really scary. So yeah, that's what I learned when I was young is always turn your lights off because the people behind you are going to think you're traffic. And they're going to be like, oh, good, here's a car, we're going with them. And they may run into you, or they may be able to slow down, but other people are following, and you know how that goes. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. I hope I feel better too. Oh, good. Collage cards. Yay. I really, really like when I do cards and I do like a collage of items, and I like the sentiment to touch it or at least kind of be included, or even like, well, like this one, the leaf barely goes over it. If the words were just right, I would have the leaf come up even farther. If it was like in between two words, like happy birthday or whatever, I like to kind of put them together. So don't be afraid of that. And then you might think, oh, there's a lot of space over here though. I could have put two embellishments. I could have put a large and a smaller one right here too, and went without this one and maybe moved this one, up here or something. So, don't worry about that. You're going to embellish and be able to kind of fill that in. Or you might say, oh, I need another leaf right there. It's not enough, and add more. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. It's a beautiful suite. The paper's gorgeous. Oh, you're welcome, Deb. All right, everybody, don't forget about the paper share. I am even going to create a special video for the paper share people. So it will just be a private link, kind of like a class is, but it's going to be, I'm just using DSP and getting the most out of your DSP. So that's just kind of something I decided to add on. I haven't even announced it yet until now. But don't miss out on that paper share. I have a lot of people right now doing it. I'm going to, me, if you've done my paper shares, I will order it day of. So I'll order it the night of the 5th. It will next day delivery. So it will ship on the morning of the 6th. I will get it the 7th. And then I will get that paper share put together and get it mailed out to you as soon as I can. So I like to get it done and out to you right away because it's so much fun to play with. And I am an instant gratification girl, and I assume everybody else is too. So I try to get it done as soon as possible and get it out. Thank you, everybody. I hope you feel better too. And thank you for the anniversary wishes. 15 years this year. We were just talking about it. We've been married 15 years. We've known each other 30 because we met his first year at where he works. I started, I think, 6 months after him, maybe. And so we have known each other for 30 years and we've been married 15. And it sure goes by fast, that's for sure. I hate making sympathy cards. Yeah, I know, Bobette, me too. And that's why I tend to never have any. And I'm going to show you guys my anniversary card. You want to see it for my hubby? I'm going to do a video on it, but I'll show you guys anyway. So this is going to be my little anniversary card to my hubby. Look how cute. My little anniversary card. So that'll be to hubby. And I'll be doing a video on that. Probably Sunday. Depends on what else I come up with. Let's see. Order. Oh, I was just looking at the calendar and it says, get your order ready. All right, everybody, have a fantastic New Year. Stay safe, stay home. Make sure your animals are inside. They do not like the fireworks and the gunshots and all that stuff. It scares them. My dog will shake like a leaf, so we will have him inside for sure. And I usually have music on or the TV or something, so hopefully he doesn't hear it and get afraid. But honestly, he's usually tucked in his bed, and a lot of times we are too by midnight. So even though we stay up late and watch TV, it seems like New Year's Eve, it's like we can hardly ever make it. But anyway, have a great New Year's Eve, and I will see you next year with something fun. Bye, everybody.